Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your consideration. It's Mr. MoNaCo here with another supplemental lecture on Unit 1, Equipment, Matter, and Measurements. The focus point today is page 12 in your packet. We're going to talk about the metric system and learn how to convert some common metric units. Okay. Here's a little background information on the metric system. In the top left, we have some constant equalities based on the metric system that I personally think were kind of interesting. The connection between mass and volume, centimeters and milliliters, some common conversions. Also length, weight, and volume. There's some common conversions that you should know by heart within this chart here. I'm circling them as we speak. And these are the ones that we're going to deal with most this year. Okay, so those ones that I circled are the ones that you should have memorized. That chart that I just circled things on is not in our reference tables. Table C and Table D are. Table C helps you out kind of with this metric unit prefix. I'm going to circle the most important ones that we're going to deal with this year. We're going to see most common. This one underlined there, we're going to talk about it when we talk about wavelengths of light, but it's not so much used in unit conversions. Last thing, Table D, very important to know the symbols, names, and quantity that the common units measure. We're going to have to address all of those this year at some point. We're familiar with meters, grams, and liters, and seconds at the moment. So let's move on and take a couple additional notes on the factors, prefixes, and units of the metric system. First thing you want to know about is most common prefixes. Okay, kilo means 1,000 of something. A kilo MoNaCo would mean 1,000 MoNaCos. A kilo milks would mean 1,000 milks. That's a big family. Centi is 1/100th. Just like 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar, a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. Milli is 1/1000th. So a milli dollar would be 1/1000th of a dollar, so small that we don't even use that measurement of currency. We do use it when we're talking about milliliters, though, because a liter contains 1,000 milliliters. So these kind of prefixes and their fractions are all kind of related. The most common conversions that we're going to have to do is convert grams to milligrams and backwards, milligrams back to grams. That's why it's got a double-headed arrow. Grams to kilograms and kilograms back to grams. Again, the double-headed arrow. And finally, milliliters to liters and liters back to milliliters. So those are the most common prefixes and conversions that we're going to do this year. I'm going to show you the King Henry method for actually doing some of those common conversions. First thing you got to look for is the conversion related to meters to centimeters. Well, if we're doing it using this chart, we're going to just come up with 1 meter, and we're going to convert it into centimeters. We start in the base unit, underneath unusually, it says meter, and we go down to centi. Notice how it's 2 jumps, so to the right, which means that we're going to end up taking that decimal place there and moving it 2 spaces to the right. We have to put a 0 in to hold the place, and when we rewrite our final answer, we put in 100 point centimeters. So the decimal kind of fell off the end because it's not necessary as a placeholder anymore. So that was meters to centimeters. Let's see what we get when we do milliliters to liters. We're going to start in a different spot and end up somewhere else. So milli means like 100 milliliters. You've got to have a number, of course. We start down at the low end there. Milli, where things are smaller. And we make 1, 2, 3 jumps to get to liters. Liters is in this central unit column. So that means we take our decimal place and jump it 3 to the left. The decimal here is actually not written. It's a placeholder between the 0 and the units ml. So when we move it 1, 2, 3 units to the left, 3 jumps to the left, it turns our final answer into 0.100 liters, or 0.100 liters. The last unit conversion we're going to talk about is some grams to milligrams, or milligrams to grams. We'll start with a unit like 100 milligrams, a very small quantity, like a medicine amount. And we're going to take, again, just like the milliliters to liters, we're starting with milligrams, milli, and take 1, 2, 3 jumps to the left, which means we take our decimal place and move it 3 spaces to the left. It wasn't written again because it was placeholding. Our final answer with our new units, 0.100 grams. Now, we have a couple pages of practice in our packets that we're going to do, but there is no limit to the number of practice problems on the web. I encourage you to seek out and complete any extra problems you can find until you couldn't get anything like conversion-based wrong. It's not about practicing till you get it right and stopping. It's about practicing till you cannot get it wrong anymore. So thank you very much for your consideration in this video. Have yourself a nice night.